Hey everybody, G-Force41 here with another episode of Quick Tips. This is Quick Tips 19 for PGA Tour 2K23. And yeah, the clock is winding down on PGA Tour 2K23, as I'm sure you were all excited by the announcement of PGA Tour 2K25 due out at the end of February. I am too, and we are all excited at the casuals. I will try to continue to bring you some videos until that time. I have a long list still of courses to review for quick tips. The design tips should carry right through to the new game. I have no idea what the new game is like, but I'm sure there's going to be similarities in the designer. But the strategy, the elements, the concepts of designing your course, your greens, your planting, and all that should carry right through. Right? It's the ideas that really matter. So what are we doing today? Again, quick tips. We have moved to the format of doing 3 courses, 6 holes from each. So you get 18 holes of golf in each and every video, and I get to convert 3 courses. These are all requests from viewers, so thank you so much for watching. Thank you for interacting with me on the channel, and I'm happy to give you tips on your course. Where are we going today? We are going to the following courses. We are going to Grassman Golf Resort. That is from Michikov 952. I believe it's Daniel or Dan. Number 2, we're going to the Cross at Galitan, Grimslow 40. I believe that's Tom or Thomas, and that one's got 3,200 plays, so I'm looking forward to checking that one out. And then we are going to Whispering Pines, or should I say Whispering Pines, from Parts Pup 24. That's a stadium-style course, so we are always excited for a tee-ready course at the casuals. So we're going to play the first 6 holes of each course, and then, yes, I do take a peek at the 7th hole usually. Let you know what I think. These are golf course design tips aimed at maybe newer designers, kind of novice designers. And you know what? If you're experienced, you might get a tip or two as well, right? It's going to make you think about a few things. So we are actually looking at the Cross at Galitan by Grimslow 40 here. I kind of snuck around the corner off the first tee. I don't know what hole that is. It's got to be 18 because I only played the first 6 holes. You got a nice little driving range off there to the side and everything. So he put a lot of effort into the extras on this course. That's for sure. So enjoy the video, enjoy the tips, and we will be back with more soon. But let's get right to the golf. All right, let's get going with course number 1. So course number 1 on Quick Tips 19 is Grassman Golf Resort, Michikov 952. I believe that's Daniel on YouTube. And he says he's struggling with fairway layout. So we'll take a look. Not sure exactly what that means, but I like the scene off the tee. I think the planting behind the tee was just a little big, but looks good. I like the trees. I like the whole kind of setting. It looks really nice. And the fairway looks all right. Kind of interesting. It's big, and it's got a couple sections. You got a kind of heroic carry there. You don't have much running room or stopping room after it, but you kind of fade one in there. Plenty of room up to the bridge. Bridge looks like a little bare. Don't forget to kind of plant around the bridge, maybe a little grass, tall grass, a bush or something. And the bunkers look a little close to the fairway. You want to be careful with how close they get. And they're not quite snug. They just, the bunker should almost fit in like a jigsaw puzzle usually into the curves of the fairways. But, not always, but just something to think of because it just looks a little off to me, but not bad. We'll take a look at the sculpting as soon as we get closer up. I noticed there are 3 sets of tees and only 3 sets of pins. So just to notice to designers out there, you're probably going to want to go with at least 4 pins. I don't know why you would stop at 3. I guess the thought is, well, who's really going to play 4 rounds unless it's a 4-round tournament? But you always kind of want to have that option for schedulers. And maybe your course is really good and it will make it into a 4-round tournament. So that's pretty standard. 4 sets of pins. All right, so let's take a look at the green. The green's an interesting shape, but a little narrow. Whoops, I'm going to go back. Yeah, interesting. It's sloping the right way, right? It's, we got a little bit of puddle green right there in the middle. Could be a puddle. But going towards the water. So it looks like, speaking of the water, let's go down here. Given this texture, it's kind of that sand color and those trees back there. This must be, is this the Delta theme? I didn't look before. It's probably the Delta. I haven't designed in Delta in years. Um, Little kind of scattered rock action there. I do a little bit more with the shoreline. I don't know how much shoreline you have and if it's going to hit your meter, but all those rocks are going to hit your meter too. So you could bring the heavy rough closer to the shoreline, or I don't know exactly what. I'd have to think about that. Let's take a look at the bunkers. Looks flat, not sculpted, right? So there's no definition anywhere. I don't know if you just flattened it or you didn't do anything. But sculpt the inside and outside of your bunkers. There should be some concavity and definition to it, right? Get the inside. I use the fuzzy donut brush, and I use that on the inside and the outside. Okay, and that's look at my bunker video. Many bunker sculpting videos out there. Sure, with the new game coming out, PGA Tour 2K25. There'll be even more new videos out there. So maybe when I see what that designer's like, I'll do some more designer fundamentals. I know Eraser Gibb asked me to do a sculpting video on brushes and all that, but given I think a lot of people are probably on hiatus with designing till the new game comes out, I think I'll just wait to see what the new designer in 2K25 has in store, and then I'll do some videos, because there'll be new players and new people interested and new people checking out the designer, so it might make more sense to do it then. If not, if you have troubles with sculpting and the brushes, check out, there's plenty of old videos out there. Let me stick to this course. I'll get back to that in a second. Again, pretty, you're painting pretty scenes off the tee. I like it. I'm just looking all over. Let's look at the green. So yeah, it's nice. Yeah, so I see what you're going for with the rocks. It's hard to pull off. I think you're using some of the multi-planting, kind of option where you hit down on the L3 that's on the PlayStation, and instead of doing it rock by rock, you're getting multiple rocks. It just looks kind of awkward. It's really hard to do this and make it look natural on your own. It's very time consuming. So I can see from the time standpoint why you just kind of hit the multi-tool. And I do that on occasion with some of the grasses, but just be careful. It takes up meter. Interesting shape green. Again, I think it's just a little small, especially playing at a $180. Again, watch the trees and the shade on the greens. Make sure you really want that shade and that tree there. With that wind, I'm just going to throw that up. But I like their creativity with the green shapes. Then you've got no rough. I'd color that in. See how that's... There's no reason it looks like it's burnt out unless you want to go for a course that's not being well maintained. Just take the heavy rough brush. Just take a brush, a circle brush, and go around that. Especially by the green. I used to struggle with that in the early games, and I don't know what was going on with the spine. But even, yeah, all around this green, you got to color that in. I don't say you got to often. You can, you should, it will look better. But unless you're going for a course that's really not kept well, kind of want that stuff around the greens. All right. So you got little, look at these, you got the sculptures, the fountains, the whole 9 yards going here. Pretty. Yeah, so I see what you mean. Again, no, I think you've kind of got the right idea so far on the fairways. Again, the bunkers are too close. That one's kind of snuggied in there, but that's fine. But, whoops, I can't go any further. It's kind of big. So, be careful of the size of your bunkers. Both of those are really big. I think the bigger they are, the more unwieldy they get. I try to use bunkers that are, think about it, 5 to 10 yards long. 10 yards long is 30 feet. So, 20 yards is 60 feet. And that's pretty big, right? That's halfway down to first base when you think about it. That's a big bunker. So, think about the size of your bunkers. I mean, I like it. You got a three wood option here. I think you want to start it a little sooner. About a $185 is usually where a lot of people start. Depends on the hole, but you can start it a little sooner. And you've got some running room for the driver and a little bit of risk over there. So I don't have any issue with this. The splining's a little odd. I think it's just a little too curvy. And it doesn't have to be that wiggly squiggly kind of thing. Depends what you're going for, but what I always tell people is take a course that you like and take a look at it and mimic it, right? I mean, that's why I do a lot of inspired buys. Just kind of use that style of the fairway outlines. It could be a links course, or it could be like Inverness, or I did that once, or pick a Alistair McKenzie course, or whoever your favorite designers are, or Ross, or Tillinghast, or whoever. CB McDonald. You just kind of go with that kind of style, and make it your own. Don't fret too much about it, but again, it's all about how much you want to put into it, how much time, how good you want it to look, how you want it to be received, how many plays you want. I looked at this, it had only 47 plays. All right. From the 3 holes I've played, it looks better than a 47 play course, but definitely some room for improvement for sure. All right, 4th hole. I like this. Oh, it's just a little horizontal. I think you go a little bit more diagonal on this. And I've done holes like this. What is it? 5 on Carthwick. There's 2 fairways, but one's kind of diagonal. So it's kind of almost got a cape quality to it. How much do you cut off? I think it's fine. I just think it's going a little, for my taste, too horizontal. You want to give it a little bit more angle. That's all. 43 feet down. So yeah, between wind and elevation change and the angle, you've got an interesting decision to make. Fine by me. Stay up. So all's going well here so far with this. I'm having a bad technology day. Not me in particular, but I've had 2 meetings canceled, and I was going to record a podcast, a real podcast for my business podcast. Which, by the way, if you haven't seen any of my posts, I haven't put too many out there. It's called Your Customer, Your Success. It's available on all major podcast platforms and YouTube. It's not on this YouTube channel because this is for fun, but check it out. But I had a guest in California, just south of those terrible fires, and terrible winds there again today, and his power kept going out. And then I had another meeting, same thing. Guy had no power because of a snowstorm. He couldn't meet with me. But everything's going all right here. But again, if you're out there in California, we're thinking of you. Hope everything is going as well as it can be. Just terrible stuff to see. All right, back to golf. And look, that's one hell of a statue to have next to the tee box. It is cold as hell today again. It's been pretty cold the past 2 weeks here in New England. No wind to speak of though, but it still is about 12 degrees. It was 4 when I woke up. Puts a dent in my walking. I love to walk in the morning or in the afternoon, go to the gym or hit balls, golf balls in the morning. If I can. Alright, not a bad hole. These are pretty good. 6th hole. Like I said, we play 6 per course. We'll take a peek at the 7th. Nothing wrong with that fairway. It's pretty straightforward. That's fine. And it ends. Now you got some more unique bunkering here. So you want to stay, have a kind of style. Don't veer too much off the beaten track with different styles of bunkers. That's a little different than we've seen. And I'm not sure there's a reason why that fairway stops other than to put a card path in. So, on that, we've talked about that before, right? You want there to be a reason when you stop the fairway. I know a lot of times you see that maybe like on an Arizona course or something like that, where you kind of have a lot of split or truncated fairways. Watch your transitions into the green from the fairway with the splines. I touched on that on one of my videos. I'll do it again in the new game depending on how that version goes, but you want that to be smooth and not at an angle. Kind of that curve to curve in there and not hit it at the right angle or kind of just stop. It just looks a little odd. But I see that a lot. I know Eraser Gibb had some issues with that the first couple of tries on his course. But fair, 200-yard hole up a hill. The other thing there is you can angle that green a little bit and then put the bunker kind of off to the side. You see a lot of that type of hole. This kind of straightforward green that's longer than it is deep. Yeah, especially on a longer four. Just put it at a little angle, and you can put a bunker or a hill on the side. You see a lot of the better designers kind of do some sort of version of that. A lot of the folks doing TGC tours, tournaments, and things like that, design contests, you'll see holes with that kind of design concept. All right, so that was Grassman Golf Resort. Mitch, iCove 952. Daniel, not bad. You've got a whole lot of pretty decorations. It looks pretty good. We'll peak at 7. Yeah, I'm not sure. So now you got fairways that are going into the bunkers that are going into the fairway. So you're kind of switching a few things up here. I've talked about staying away from that unless you're doing something pretty fancy. But yeah, so the fairway itself is reasonable, but I would stay away from cutting into the fairway with the bunker at this point. But not a bad job, my man. It looks really good. I think the planning is pretty good, other than around the water. The views off the tee boxes are real good, and you got some crowds in there. We always like a tee ready course on the casual. So good job, my man. So just focus on that, the bunker sculpting especially. Think about the greens, the green shapes, and the size of the greens relative to the hole. All right, let's move on to the next one. All right, course number 2, the Cross at Galitan, Grimslow 40. Thomas, I believe is his name, from YouTube. And this course has got 3,200 plays when I went in. So you're doing pretty good, my friend. Excuse me. Looks pretty good off the tee. Nice textures. Reasonable fairway. Let's take a look at the green from here. Yeah, not bad. This looks pretty good. Like the planning over there, although I'm not sure that kind of second grass really fits. That's more of a desert. Let me take a look at this, because this, I'm not going to be able to do that. Wait a second. Please hold. Sorry about that. I'm back. So yeah, it's more of a desert theme grass. The reason I say that is I'm redoing Blue Stream Valley, which is an Arizona-based desert course, and I use that grass a lot. So I'm not sure that really blends. Think of my cousin Vinny. You blend, right? Doesn't really blend with that. You want a little contrast when you're using multiple grasses, but you want it to blend. Does that make sense? So I'm not sure exactly what you're going for, but I'll see as I move along. It's just kind of odd. But it looks good off the tee. It looks real good. And then I like that little pond in front of it. Again, you might be using it because it renders. Because now you can see it in the distance. Problem with some of these grasses, some of them render at different distances. And I never took the time to figure out exactly which is which. I just kind of wing it. But I like that. Look at that view off to the side, to the left there. Very realistic looking, right? It adds authenticity and realism. That's more my thing than the fantasy course. Do I enjoy a fantasy course here and there? Sure, but to me it's like, all right, it's fun for 5 to 10 holes. It doesn't have a lot of repeat value for me, a fantasy course. Some do. But yeah, no, I like that green. I like the green shape. Let's see, is it moving all towards the water? Yeah, pretty reasonable. Very natural green site. Like it. Like the rocks. We're going to go with the 6-mile-an-hour wind. Like the houses behind the holes. Pulled the hell out of that one, but whatever. That's my big swing oops right now. Pulling the irons left. That is no good. Work on that for the new year. I do tend to hit balls year-round. We have covered bays at my little simple club. It's a 9-hole course, practice facility with a few indoor bays. A little, you know, the heating pipe above you. So I've went the past 2 out of 3 weeks on the weekend. Alright, oh, pretty. Well, I like the car path. It's a little scraggly. It is hard to pull off those car paths exactly smooth, but pretty good job. I like the look of it, like the location. Alright, I like the the tree, it's a little intrusive, but I don't dislike that one. I talk a lot about trees that are too intrusive, but I think you got plenty of room to go over or around that one. I'll be honest with you, I don't think you need it, but I do see courses that have something like that. I don't think you need it, especially when you got this to deal with here. You got this carry, and you got this off to the side. I'm not sure you really need it. You kind of want to thread the needle there, makes it interesting, but, okay. Let's see what happens. I'm going to go at it just to see, oh, that is pretty big, but he can get over. Okay. So I think you handle that well if you're going to put it there. It was the correct size. Yeah, and given it's a par 5, I'm not sure you want to do that either. Oh, I like that. Yeah, so I like that angle. We talked on the first course about angling the green. That's nice with the pond there. Very natural, very realistic. I like it. This is a pretty course so far. Not sure what your inspiration was because I don't have anything other than your request on YouTube to play it. The rocks will play havoc with something that's just not going to make it. See which way it bounces, right? But that's always kind of fun. So I'm not sure where this course is supposed to be geographically. Not sure if there's anything else out there. It would help if I actually checked the green speeds before I putt. It'll just chip it in. Not a problem. Alright. Okay, hole number 3. Not bad. I mean, we're pinching at about 300. Kind of standard stuff. You got room for a 3-wood option. I'm up in the air on this path now. The more I see it, the more that second layer, I'm not sure you need it, but it's not distracting. It looks kind of cool. So I'm fine with it, but you just want to be careful. Those are kind of hard to pull off. If you can do it, do it. If you got the time. Interesting green. We'll take a little closer look from the approach. Oh, too much. Give me a kick. Ah. Too much talking, not enough thinking. So that's interesting. It kind of got a mound in the middle, off to the sides. We'll go to the back. Interesting. Might cause some havoc. See what I can do here. Nope. Right. Interesting hole. Play fairly tough. You know what? I'm just going to flop this one. Oh. Not that bad a putt. Just missed. I like the housing. I mean, it takes a lot of patience to put that around. I wonder how far around the course he put that. Take a closer look at one of those soon. I like this idea. Yeah, you just kind of run out of room with somebody hits it a little longer and the wind behind your back. You could entice somebody to go for it. There you see the bridge. So you see how the planting adds just a little touch We've talked in previous videos on the first course. The bridge just looks like bare if you don't put something next to it. Just a simple one, even one, two bushes, nothing major, a little grass, just kind of right at the entrance there. Really adds a little bit of character, a little flair. Let's look at the... I'm not going to mess with that. There's no reason. Did I even go through there? Nope, you got the bounce there. So yeah, it just doesn't blend there to me. That grass on the side. But the right idea. Put something there. Right. Let's see. With that lie, we'll do that. What's that gonna do? It's gonna bounce down to the hole. Got the distance right. I like that bridge there. I don't think I've used that bridge. That would look really good. Just one other different type of grass. That would have been a pretty scene right there. It was a pretty scene. It just would have been even prettier. Alright. Par 3. Let's take a peek at the houses. And we're on a par 3. You got a fence. You got a driveway. You got a driveway. Look at that. You got stairs. Are you kidding? Did you put in the stairs? Oh, the stairs go with the house. What am I saying? The house is upstairs, but you did level it. That's good. Nice. Alright, so actually, why don't I actually pay attention to the green and the actual golf? So you got a little section down. That's interesting. I'm just make it a little bit bigger, but good idea. How's the rest of the green looking? Yeah, pretty reasonable. So you got basically 4 quadrants here. On a hole that's about 179 yards, almost Eden-esque in its length. I just maybe a little bit more room. Those, especially those 2 on the right, are a little woodsy, but we'll see how it plays. But this is real good. This might actually be casuals worthy for a Monday, Tuesday. So look at the other holes. Yeah, that works. It's not too much. So no, this is not an episode of Is It Casuals Worthy, but this one's alright. Going around the bend. Interesting. Let me just be careful of this. We don't want to run out. We want a little draw going here. Always looking for a new designer on, especially on a Monday, Tuesday. The only thing I would say there is it's kind of looks like it's a little high ground by the water, and then it goes to a lower ground. Usually, like I said before, you kind of see the opposite. Wasn't too distracting, but the extras are outstanding on this course. Golf is realistic. Extras add a little, as they say, ambiance. Ambiance. And of course, my favorite word, immersion. Alright, so that was the cross at Galitan. Grimslow 40. Tom, good job. We'll take a peek at 7 before we go. Another par 3 over water with a big bunker there. Interesting shape green. Interesting. Good stuff. I like it a lot. I'll play the rest of it and maybe see if this works for a Monday, Tuesday course. Alright, let's go on to course number 3. Alright, course number 3 on Quick Tips 19. Last but not least, Whispering Pines. Yes, it's Whispering Pines. A note on names, folks. There was 27 Whispering Pines out there. So, this is Parts Pup 24. Easy to find because the ID on YouTube match the designer ID, which doesn't always happen. So I did find it, but try to make your names unique, and try to avoid the kind of like we said, Whispering Pines or Towering Oaks or something kind of very generic. Okay, if you're stuck, use a location wherever it is, wherever you're situated. Something like that. But anyway, let's take a look. So this is stadium style. Well, it sure is. We love that on the casuals, tee ready. And this back tee is 7,800 yards. Holy moly. So you got a big crowd here. We'll see how you've scattered them, if that worked. Not bad. Scatter them even more. They're all kind of bunched up. Interesting, you got the light rough going around the whole thing. A lot of light rough. Bathtubby bunkers, my man. That is not sculpted well. Again, I'm always trying to help with my comments, folks. Don't take them personally, or I'm not trying to be harsh or abrupt or a smart ass. But I got to tell it like it is and get through these videos, because like I said, I'm still way behind. I love doing them for you, but I'm kind of busy, and I'm way behind with these too. So it's like I'm always editing something, right? I'm always editing my real life podcast. You got to edit the audio and the video. Anyway, looks pretty good. Decent scene off the tee. Let's see how it plays. Doing a real podcast is a lot of work. It's a lot more work than I thought. But I know how to do the videos from doing this. So I use the same tool. I use Wondershare Filmora. There is a link always in my videos if you're interested in doing your own videos, podcasts, anything. Wondershare Filmora is a great tool. Enjoy it. Now that I figured out how to use it. Like this. Although, is the green going the wrong way a little bit? Oh, no, that hill is a little... It's alright. We've got a few... what do we got? 7 people looking totally the wrong way here. Alright. So, thanks for watching, folks. What have you done here? Have you done the grass trick? Oh, he's done the grass trick. I don't really know how to do this, so I can't tell you how to do it. So there's probably some videos and stuff on the boards, TGC boards, all that kind of stuff. I have no idea how to do that. I'm not fond of the look. I don't think it looks bad. I think if you use it appropriately here, this seems to be the kind of course you'd want to do that on. Stadium type course, manicured, right? Maybe this is supposed to be kind of TPC sawgrassy. And that was terrible. So I would say I'm not fond of it, but an excellent use of that technique on this type of course. And the crowd's going wild. Even the 7 people that weren't even looking at me. They love it. Alright, so I got a bunch of people behind me now they're looking at. Here we go. 2. Oh, I like that. You got the little board there on the sign. Done that in a few courses. Haven't done it recently. Yeah, so again, so you're being consistent with the bunkering style and theme. You've got the light rough going around it, the same kind of shapes. Just work on that sculpting. I'm not sure you would have spectators over there by the water. They'd probably all be over here. If you've ever been to a golf tournament, put a few more, they'd be up on the hill here. Maybe they'd be down there if there's stuff over on the other side. I don't know. So this is a 5. Got some water there. Just be a little careful of the sculpting going down into the water. Really make it smooth and gradual. Up here, you see, you don't want it to be perfectly straight, but you got to really work those contours. Don't make it look jagged and ootsy. And see how the fairway's hugging it? It's a little inconsistent, right? It gets really close to the fairway, then really wide. So you almost you don't have to be perfectly uniformed, but you want it a little consistent. So that's just a little, it looks sloppy, right? It just doesn't look like it would really look. Does it affect playability? Well, sort of. You've maybe got a little more fairway to work with here than you should, but it is what it is. So, I'm just going to throw the 3-wood up there, see what happens. So you got some decent contours on the fairway. I like the textures. So again, see how that bunker's not working, right? That's way too far down. That needs to be much... See how it's just really indented? It just kind of stops and goes down. That's not working. That has to be a little bit higher. There has to be a high side, a little bit higher than the green level, I think, on the right, and then a low side on the left. But it just doesn't work visually. I'm not sure it's particularly realistic. So, all right. So I'm just going to flop this one. So it's at that distance. That 40-yard distance. You're better off, at least I am, flopping. You nail the putt, he nails the putt. Sipping some coffee here, folks, because like I said on the earlier courses, earlier in the video, it is damn cold today. Yeah, I really like the brick in the scoreboard. I'm sorry, the hole marker. 3 right over there. Then you got a car over there. Are we floating? You got the floating car. All right. Might put that out in the middle a little bit more. If you want to go hog wild, put the fountain, right? Yeah, like I said, just scatter that crowd a little bit more. You have to take the brush, bring it way down as small as it can go, and then just dot, dot, dot all over the place. Let me look at the direction of the green. This is what gets... it's going down a little bit, a little bit. All right, I'll buy that. It's fine. Look at this. Oh. Grass looks I'd fill it in with the second grass. The grass on the far side. Looks like there's only more grass over there if you can see it. You know, I don't know. I mean, you've got some huge stands. You got to think about where those really double-decker huge stands would be. Would they be on the third and the fourth hole? Maybe. I don't know. Depends on the course. But you're not going to have them everywhere. All right. Not bad. Just a little snake kind of fairway there. Reasonable green. Not much going on either way. The trees are a little repetitive. I know it's whispering pines, but you could throw in a few other trees. You do, but tree line for a course called Whispering Pines is it's not lighting it up. Not bad. Just not making me say this is a super tree line course. Alright, this bunker looks okay. Could use, see a little you got a little crinkle at the top. You gotta be careful of those. See what the new game brings. That happens a lot with the shapes, I believe, not so much with the spline. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but pretty sure it's more with the shapes you get the crinkles. The 5. So this is a pretty bland visual off the tee. I can't see much of what's going on. I like your textures. They blend together nicely, but, you know, something like this is just a little blah. Nothing wrong with it. Show off that bunker a little bit more, right? There's no reason to be hiding that one, right? There's not. So this is what I'm talking about. We talk about showing your work, show off the bunkers. There's not much of a reason for that hill, these two hills here, 207 yards out. I mean, in real life, sure, is somebody got to hit it there? Yeah, but in this game, is anybody got to hit it 2.7? No, because I don't think anybody's hitting anything. You might go less than the driver if you got wind behind you. If you got wind behind you, though, you're probably taking that option. So let's talk about the first fairway first. No one's gonna hit anything below 3-wood here. I don't think, unless you got a massive 3-wood going. But still, you're not going to hit anything back here. So why is the hill there? Get rid of it and show off the bunker and work on your visual. Same thing over here. It's a little clunky and lumpy, you've got a nice little ravine going there, show that off, because it's kind of a bumpy hill there. Get that lower, get the ravine a little bit more pronounced, and that hill right in front of me, get rid of that sucker too, right? So, like, that's what I'm talking about when I say show off your work. All right, interesting split fairway. This is a little bit of a leave-in kind of hole, is it? Is there a hill there? It's a leave-in-esque. It's not a huge hill to the right. It's almost a leave-in. I got the one behind me, and 15. I was 15 yards up. Yeah, I don't have the firepower, but good option. So I like that strategy off the tee. Like the positioning the bunkers in the green. Good hole. Yeah, a little too lumpy, maybe a little too big there. Be careful of the size and depth of your bunkers. Do you really want that to be 6 feet over my head? You know, just think about it, right? You 3-4 feet maybe. You don't see a lot of that type of bunker, especially on this type of hole and this type of course. I don't think. There are some, very big courses with major elevations, changes, and slopes, but 6 feet is a lot. So you're looking at 3 to 4 feet max. 2-3 feet is probably more standard when you think about it. Six feet is, at your head or over, right? So that's pretty big when you think about it. All right, 6, par 3, 187 down, about 16. It's a little bit puddle greeny, not much. Kind of a flat green, not doing much. Decent hole, blah. But this is what I mean. That's a more reasonable kind of stance there. And I like how you're attaching the holes and everything. It gives that, with that little walkway thing. Gives it a nice feel. Hey, almost. So I like it. Good idea, good concept. Not bad. I think just the general sculpting needs to be worked on, and work on the crowds and some of the planting. The bones of a good course are there, but I would definitely suggest working on a few of those kind of basics, right? The sculpting and the sight lines. Ooh. That green looks a little much to me. But I like that. Oh, I like the bunkering complex over there. What is this green doing before we go? Oh, dear. It's a good thing this one's over, because I might have to go to town in there for that green, buddy. But a little dome-shaped green. All right. But really, that's a pretty cool course. Parts Pup 24's Whispering Pines. Good job. Enjoyed it. And that's a wrap for Quick Tips 19. Please keep viewing the channel. Keep the comments coming. Keep the requests coming. We're here for you. And looking forward to PGA Tour 2K25 when it comes out. I don't have any information or any advance notice. The folks at 2K don't give me any in advance or lead information, right? So I don't have any connections there. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. And that's all for Quick Tips 19. We'll be back with more. Maybe Is It Casuals worthy next. All right? All right. We will see you later, folks.